take that. I'm going to take that. I'm going to go down to the basement and take some reads. I would say those wires are dead. No longer. We got fairly high EMF there going through the 14.2. Not too bad at the junction. All right. So I'm going to take a noxious gas reading. So the carbon monoxide reader is coming back at a 0, and that's good. Lowest point. Taking samples. Not a So there's a haunted mirror. Supposedly, you get a face looking back at you.
Yeah, that's what I was looking into it.
You know, the EMF for the house isn't as high as I thought it would be. Downstairs, it runs about 19 milligauss. Where there's a bus point, like where a bunch of 14.2 cable is, and where it hits up with the BX cable and the really old fuzzy house cable, like the kind they'd use in the 40s. So, but overall, I'm not getting wildly crazy EMF. The highest EMF I've got so far is the clock radio. Okay. It maxed up at about 30 milligauss. Again, the junction point between the BX cable and the 14.2 downstairs had about a 19. Okay. No sewer gas, no COM. So those are all good things because that's a safety factor. I might have some advisement because supposedly that opens on its own, which just goes into here. And we don't know if that's environmental that causes that. We have another bedroom here, which has a door there. That's different. The only thing in here I think would have any EMF would be the heater, but it's not on.
Dave, I was just speaking to Ruby here as well,
Mm.
and she was saying that in her sister's room over here, she saw a man standing in the doorway wearing wet clothes saying, look out for, and just disappeared.
All right, well, we'll have we're going to put one of the audios, the statics.
That's this here, and in this room,
Yeah.
I guess, sorry, what's the mother's name again?
Jen.
Jen said she saw somebody in here that looked like their son, but it wasn't their son.
Oh, that's nifty. So we're gonna put probably the H1 or the H2 right here, just to because of all the actual people we're hearing. In here, we've got the father-in-law's room,
Which was the servants' quarters.
There's a couple kitty cats. Hi. Hi. There's only 2 strikes of EMF. Ruby's clock radio and a junction point downstairs. So overall, pretty clean.
And you said you wanted static video.
Yeah.
So I've got one set up here with the arm. And
All right. So
if you wanted a static audio as well,
let's use that one. Yeah.
there's the test cam.
I'm gonna turn her on.
Step up just means it's
stairs. So you got my knee done.
Okay, it's now recording. At the farmhouse, April 9th. Temperatures 2 degrees-ish, cloudy, overcast, 7:58 p.m. I'm placing this upstairs outside of Ruby's room to cover the hallway. So,
Yes.
yeah, he knows where it's going.
Oh, hang on.
Okay, so here we are. We're at the zoo. There's another 35 animals down there. So we're sitting about a 150-year-old farmhouse. We're going to say about that. The neighbors, all land registry, say they're about 1856. There's been denotions of poltergeist activity here. Obviously, we don't necessarily prescribe to that, but maybe we'll encounter it. Some doors closing on their own, some things falling down. I don't know whether we attribute that to environmental factors. We'll have a look and see. I don't really expect that to occur. But anyway, we're up in the Sutton area, so up by Lake Simcoe. Some significant things happen with the indigenous population up here. I know that there's an island up here where, I think late 19th century they were shipped off to. Now whether that was to their own land or whether they were put there, I don't know. I don't actually know. So we're probably expecting some animal noises here. We've run into a rat, and obviously there is a dog here and a couple cats and a lot of birds, whatever. It's a farm, right? So you're going to get all kinds of animal noises. But it's got me, Phil, Sandy, and Linda tonight. So it should be I think it'll be an open and closed type of thing. Not getting too deeply into the EMF. There was only 2 spots in the house that kind of showed a burst of it, nothing crazy. But through instrumentation, the temperature and the EMF is going to vary a bit naturally, just due to the nature of the house, all old wiring and whatnot. So I don't think it would be a fair representation to be using that in the investigation, just to mitigate that. You're just going to be constantly looking for the source of what it is. So I think that it'll be a nice simple EVP session. We've got an audio set up on the main floor and a static video up there recording things as well. Hopefully we'll catch whatever we need to. And say hello to the team. just out having a wee breaky poo before it all gets going, and hopefully we'll catch something. Okay, so here we start in Sutton Farmhouse. This place is about 100, I'm gonna say 150. We do have a young girl working on some schoolwork, it looks like upstairs, but she's been pretty quiet. All the animals are out of the house, all the adults are out of the house. I know that
The bird's still in the house.
the bird's still in the house, so we hear a squawk. I think, as far as debunking goes, you know, they're saying that things are coming off the fridge and doors opening and closing, but the floor is really on level. It's kind of a drafty house, and the doors don't close.
No.
None of the doors seem to like close, you know, like latch. They don't.
No, they're all,
They lean closed.
they're due to the age of the house and the way it's settled over the course of 150 years roughly. Your door jambs and your thresholds are not lining up, so.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that right there kind of scratches out that factor, but the young girl says that there's different people that they see. So we'll work towards that angle. We speak of, there has been word of poltergeist activity. I know we don't really prescribe to that all that much, but if somebody's here that wants to give us an indication that you're here, you know, I've got a chest set in front of me, and I know there's a supposedly haunted mirror on the wall. You want to show yourself in there. I'm looking in that direction as I'm talking. Can you make yourself aware here? I mean, it's a grand old house, really. I mean, it's differently laid out. I kind of like that. It's the type of place that if you could buy it for a song and you had some rental dollars, it'd be interesting because the ceilings are all high and the rooms are a good size, and it doesn't have that, standard cookie cutter, you walk in, there's the living room, there's the kitchen, there's this.
And the fact that it has a servant's quarters upstairs, like I said before earlier, this evening, is to me, that tells me the family that had this house built originally must have had some sort of stature in the town.
Mm-hmm. So if there's somebody that could speak to us, we have devices that can hear your voice, and you'd be more than welcome to touch one of us or use one of us.
There's a piano here in the room when you
Play that. That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's not tuned, but it'd be cool to hear you start plucking some keys on that thing.
My friend Linda over there has a video camera, and you may not be aware of what that is, but it takes moving pictures. Here's the piano. I'm going to hit a few keys. Yeah, it's definitely out of tune. Can you react to that? Please, we're all friends. What did you do up here? I mean, it was a farming community, that I know. I'm assuming you were a farmer, but, what did you farm? Or was it a crop, or was it animals? How big was your family? I have a fair number of rooms here, and servants' quarters, off of what would have been the commode. The place also has waves of smells. I've had 3 different smells since I've been here. I can't, in this room, I can't identify one of them. You kind of get the wood one, right?
Yeah.
I get that. But nothing else. The other one's kind of a musty smell, and one's sort of a sweet smell. Mind you, the whole theory of the smell thing, I mean, houses been made with like lath work and plaster and like real wood, you know, that absorbs shit over the years. And, you know, certain temperatures are gonna bring out different smells, I think. Like, I think if there's a logical explanation for it. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna move into the, little living area. Okay, so we're in the family's living area. I don't know if this would have been your living area. Yeah, it's something that rattles.
Yeah. Movement of the floor's gonna make that.
So tell me, in this house, like, we're not gonna investigate the basement, cause it's, I think there's the presence of mold down there. And it's a little too drippy dreary for my tastes. What would you use that for? I think it's just cold storage and that kind of stuff. I don't see that as being anything anybody can congregate it in.
No, I would say the same thing from the original time this house was built. It was probably wood storage, coal storage, canned food, or you know, meats, like a cold cellar.
Mm-hmm. Can you speak to our machine here? With my wife Sandy, she's holding a device that can trap your voice and tell us your name. You said it's a very quiet house. It's not stressful.
But it's definitely chillier in this room
Yes.
than it is in the dining room.
It is chillier in here, but the house was chilly when we came into it. They would heat it, so you know it's that old of a house that you know you're basically environmentally heating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's nothing that's making it warmer. What was it like back in those days? I mean, like when you'd wake up in the 1800s. And who was the Prime Minister of Canada? Or were we even a country yet? Like this place was around when Sir John A. was Prime Minister. So, what was life back then? I'm guessing, I mean, if you're a farmer, I mean, up early. I'm assuming you didn't really have to worry about necessarily food costs, because I'm assuming you ate off your own land.
Yeah.
I think. I'm a city boy, you know. So
No, that's what they did. They'd raise their chickens, their cows, goats, whatever, right? And some they'd use for dairy and.
so in some ways, kind of more advanced, and easier than today. I mean, the work was harder, but you know there were certain stresses that didn't exist then that do now.
So, how many people used to live in this house all at once? I'm assuming back in the day they had big families.
Sure.
To have a house this size, you must have had a big family.
And a lot of kids to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Mom like to bake a lot? Fresh breads, cakes, muffins, cookies? I can just imagine, you know, coming in from a hard day's work to the aroma of fresh baked bread in that kitchen.
That'd be nice. I'd like it if my wife would do that. Okay.
It's too dark to see your face, but I'm sure you got a good look there, Dave.
She has baked bread before. I'm sure you have.
I keep getting drawn to that room. I keep wanting to look over there, like something's
In there.
yeah, like something's watching us.
Are you watching us? You'd be comfortable to come up and talk to us. We're totally cool.
Yeah, we're here for you guys, for whoever's here with us. We're here for you to help get some answers for the people living here. That's all. We're not here. We don't mean any harm. We're friendly, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm. We joke around.
Yeah.
We're not. You know, we'd love to have a cold beer in our hand, and
We're fascinated with any stories you have to tell us, because we love to hear the history of how things were back then. If there is anybody in this household, and if what the homeowners that are currently living here have said to us is true, why do you guys make yourself known to them? Is there something you want them to know specifically? Because according to one of the little girls that live here, somebody keeps saying watch out for, and doesn't really quite finish the sentence. What do they have to watch out for?
What heritage are you? I mean, at that point in time, Canada wasn't.
You're still part of the British colony.
Yeah, and we're definitely not like incredibly
Would have
diverse.
been
Could have been.
King Edward? King George. How do you feel about the changes of how you've seen this place around you develop over the years? Are you happy with the way things have been? Are you happy with the people that have been here?
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next room, guys.
Wow, it just felt like it dropped another 5 or 10 degrees in this room.
It is colder. It is colder for sure, but that's a hard gig, right?
Yeah.
Just because of the environmental factor. Okay, so we're in one of the bedrooms. I mean, the bedrooms are still a fairly decent size. Again,
So Sorry to cut you off, Dave. That shut pretty quickly on its own, so they said that this door opens and closes by itself. Definitely does close by itself, but not open by itself.
Oh yeah, look at that go. Okay, so we're gonna let that theory go. So give us an indication if you're here. There's a lot of rooms in this house.
Yeah.
Can you speak to us? Can you please give us some indication why we came up here?
There's a light hanging off a wire behind me. Can you make that light swing back and forth?
That'd be neat. I'm gonna go in the kitchen now. This is.
Yeah, they would have had a water pump outside to pump water, to wash their dishes, wash their hands, all that stuff, right?
That's
To have a
insane.
hot bath.
Okay. We are in a much bigger room.
Yeah, this is quite the size of kitchen.
But I guess really, truthfully, the kitchen was the hub, right?
Yes.
We do have a bird and a ferret near us, and I think there's a hippopotamus in the back room, and a jaguar,
A rhinoceros.
a rhinoceros as well. That's the bird talking.
Sounds like sneakers on the ground. Can you make any of these pots and pans that are hanging
They're hanging.
on the shelf sway back and forth for us? We were told that you like to knock things off the top of the fridge too.
Yeah,
That'd
try
be
that.
interesting to see, please.
Are you scared too of us here?
Can you open up the doors on that little hutch behind Linda?
So they said stuff falls in here?
Yeah, stuff gets knocked off the top of the fridge.
Yeah.
Let's. Well, I'm even gonna put it closer to the edge
Okay.
and just see if.
Oh, the floor does bounce.
It's not making it move. Alright.
That was your comic relief for the night. All right, so I mean, but the problem is that's it's very incidental. Things fall off. Things, it's hard to kind of nail that down as an occurrence of the paranormal.
But yeah, sometimes you'll have a floor that, as you walk across,
Yeah. You got the odd floorboard.
that would make it fall. But it didn't
No,
make it wobble
but
or
there
anything.
could be any contribution of factors that whether it's one board that's closer to the fridge, or maybe two people were walking. I don't know.
There's Is there anybody in those rooms we just left? If there is, and you followed us, or you're curious, just come on in here.
Did you say you could followed us?
You could follow us.
No, but you said followed.
You could follow.
You could followed us, is what you said.
You could follow.
We're
us.
got it on audio. She's gonna find that I'm right.
I'm pretty sure I said you
said-
could have followed us.
You could followed us. So we're interesting people. Why don't you talk to us? Are you afraid? Like, how hot would this kitchen have gotten? I bet it would have gotten. Like, the wood stove was right there.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that Ruby, or is Ruby? Ruby's been pretty quiet. If she's even up there. Did you hear that thump?
No.
I heard something
I heard that.
over
I heard
that way.
It was that way.
Yeah.
No, I thought I heard behind you. Isn't that weird? I thought it was pack out there. You make that noise again, please? So far, you've been pretty quiet.
Yeah. And that's normal, right? Because
No.
it's either they're too scared, there's fresh faces now. What the hell's going on? Like I said before, we're not here. We mean no harm at all. We're here just to get some questions answered for the people living here. That's all. We just want to know about you. We want to know your story. We want to know why you're here, why you're reaching out to these people, why you make yourself known to them.
Okay, we'll do the last room in here.
Yeah, it's like a storage room, laundry room style.
It's like an old
storage
shop.
room. Yeah, laundry / storage.
I think that window's new. I don't know why. Like, more recent. I don't know why. Okay,
I believe you.
so we're in like a utility room. I don't know if this would have been a tool room, because I think your shop would have been a barn. You wouldn't have used. Maybe this would have been like the pantry.
Camera.
Sorry, I was making sure I put the flashlight back in my pocket.
Just ruined the investigation. That's when
What's
somebody
that?
was talking. What?
What was that?
Something made noise over there?
Yeah.
Oh.
So like movement, but I don't know if that's outside, inside. That was my.
That's your gut.
No,
Jesus.
No, that was
Christ,
over,
your stomach.
definitely over here.
Right here. Bring a shower. Oh, we got like a wild animal over here?
Here?
Yeah, I do. It's just wood.
What's on the other side?
It's just a hunting blind.
There's doors here.
Okay, so maybe the wind is.
Yeah, but that's pretty solid. Like that's not what I heard.
No.
It sounded like movement.
Well, that one there.
Was there somebody over here, or is that just?
Your gut.
Well, that's a vehicle now. But there was creaking over here. I don't, like I said, I can't tell if that came from upstairs. If there's something above.
Can you
it.
slam the door shut for in here? Lock us in here. With him. Why is your stomach always doing that?
I had lasagna. It's digesting. My
Next
food.
time, don't eat.
Yeah. I'll have Mexican next time.
Okay, so we're talking. I really hope you had any. You signaled it off a couple times. Have you heard anything?
Heard a couple things.
That's good. Well, I hope you've talked to us. So we're done this floor, and we're going to turn off our equipment. Not really, and go out and have a break.
Yep.
All right, and then we're going to do the next floor. Go further
Oh,
this way.
this
Or
is
one.
the father's room.
This is where the sun here. So this room is one of the boys' rooms, and they said that Jen said she happened to look over one day, and through the door she saw what she thought was her son, but wasn't her son.
You make yourself known in here? They are pretty big bedrooms, like for an old house.
And they probably had about, depending on how many kids in the house, they could have had 3 or 4 kids per bedroom.
Yeah.
So if this other boy that was seen in this room is with us, can you make yourself known, please?
How about talking to us in here? Whoever was in this room, what was your name? I hear a humming.
Yeah, there's a humming coming from over that way somewhere.
At the current moment in time, I'm almost lost for words. I don't know what it is. I'm more inclined to listen.
Dave's lost for words. That's a miracle.
Who are any of the people that have been seen up on this floor? We've been told there's a man, we think his name is Jim, wearing wet clothes, saying look out, watch out for. There's also been told of a little boy and a little girl up here somewhere.
What are we watching out for? What are we looking out for? Why were your clothes wet? Make a big noise.
I'm hearing like a heavy sigh.
Like, was that one of us?
I don't think so. It was like a.
Okay. Well, if that was you sighing, can you give us your name?
The boy that lives here says he sees a man who one side of his face is really red, and that you told him that you died in a burn fire here. Can you tell me what year that fire happened?
Was it a barn that had animals, or was it a barn that was, storage for hay? So we're gonna go to another room. We would like you to follow us.
Mhm.
A little smaller room.
So this is the room where the man was standing just outside, roughly where Linda is saying, watch out for, watch out for.
Okay.
Dripping wet and dripping wet. So is that the name, is that gentleman go by the name of Jim? And Jim, if that is you, why are your clothes all wet? And what is it we need to look out for?
Why were you standing outside of this room? Is the girl in this room who you were trying to protect, or no? Would you play music in this house? Do you have like an old, one of those crank phonographs? Well, I'm assuming an old radio, depending on what period.
Victrola.
A what?
A Victrola.
A Victrola?
Yeah, you just crank it up.
I thank you for, not having tons of noise going on, because we've had a pretty efficient night.
And we also want to say thank you for, allowing us to talk to you.
Yeah.
But again, please, we're just here to get some answers for the people living here as to why you're still here or why you're trying to reach out to them. We want to hear your story.
What would you do for fun? I wanna know what they do for fun, like, I mean, if this was really early 1800s or even mid to late, and it wouldn't exactly be.
It'd be hoop with a stick.
But I mean, look what you listen to. Like, there wouldn't be TV, there wouldn't be.
Oh, Dad probably played a fiddle. He probably had somebody play an instrument like a fiddle or a banjo.
This room is really inert. Now we're moving. She seems to be very aware of all the stuff going on. She seems to be the one that lets us know. She's been the one that's letting us know all the stuff.
Yes. And this is her room where the image of a young girl overlooking her while she sleeps, standing at the foot of her bed.
Like right where I am.
Basically right where you are, yep. Doesn't say anything, just looks at her.
So who's the girl? Like who's the... My biggest concern here, I know that when I did the reads on her clock radio, which it's really weird to see a kid with a clock radio these days rather than a phone. You know, he was really high in EMF. And I'm actually in the process of speaking to a neuroscientist to talk about what actually that means, right? Because we have the common theory that high EMF would affect your brain waves.
Yeah.
And I want to find out from him really if there's actually much that's actually going to happen. But like I said, that radio ran about, say, 30-40 milligauss, which is pretty high, and she's laying right next to it. So would that affect anything?
I'd like to know if anybody else is up here with us, because we were told that there's a few people that like to walk around up here in these halls and in these rooms.
Please come with us and talk to us. I mean, it can't be that scary. Ruby, who seems to know
Yeah.
everybody, she's up here by herself, no
Yeah.
problem at all, right?
Exactly. It's like nothing affects her.
No. It's a pretty calm kid.
Yeah.
It's very, very as a matter of fact. Oh, yeah. Oh,
It is what it is. What it is.
make sure you don't come in. Well, that's it. I'm gonna shut that door behind you, okay?
Kitty's like, oh, visitors.
So we are in. Hey, kitty cat. Hi.
This, as she said, was this
Servants' quarters. So we're in the servants' quarters. I guess they're not ridiculously small. What's your name? What was your name? As a servant. I think it's kind of not really a terrible spot to be have a servant's quarters, frankly. It's your own little private spot.
Supposed to be another stairwell.
Well, it's a
over
little
here or something?
kitchenette.
Oh, it's a window. I wonder where the other stairwell is. Where did she say the other stairwell was? Right there.
Right there.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Where's that lead to?
Kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. So they wake up first and go straight down to the kitchen, get the fire started, get breakfast started.
Yeah, yeah. Hard life, I bet. I mean, but was it horrible? Was it bad to be working for the family? Like I realize we take the term servant, and we automatically think of somebody who's in a not a very good spot. Is it, you just happen to be a domestic employee? You know what I mean? Like, you just worked for the family. So this is the last room that we're in. we're done. We're done the investigation. I think it's gone pretty smoothly. What about all the old interesting stuff that's in this room? I mean, could have been somebody who lived in this house that would have recognized some of that.
Yeah.
So if this is the servants' quarters, if you were a servant, I'm getting the idea that, you know, you had your own spot, which is, that's good. Were you treated well? Did you just happen to work for the family? Like a nanny? You know? But you know, I mean, there's lots of people that work as nannies that aren't like abused. You know, they're just...
Do you feel you were part of this family?
How do you think about the kids? Can you talk to us, please? Can you see them? Or can you only see one of them? Or can only talk to one of them? Or are you aware of, are there more than one of you in this house? It's been a pretty quiet night overall. Not a lot of activity. We'll have to see how much, you know.
What I would like to know is if there's anybody with us, how do you feel about everything that has happened to this house over the centuries it's been here? How many of you shared this quarter? 2, 3? Or is it just one servant? Was it a woman and your child?
I think, I'm going to be honest, I think this is about it.
Okay.
There is someone.
So, talk to the camera. Okay, well, I'm getting the feeling that tonight it's physically very quiet here, and we've completed our route of the house. And before we started filming, we did a few little tests here and there. So I think we've accomplished what we came here for. So, have a good night.